This is Lilo, Headbangers Lifestyle, and I'm going to talk to Liv Kristine, and she's a very famous singer. You might know her in the past from Theater of Tragedy, Leaves Eyes, but also as a solo artist, very successful with that. And if I'm correct, in 2014, she released probably her latest full studio album, which is called Vervain. So it has been a minute, but now she's back. About 9 years later, she has her new album ready to take off. It's A River of Diamonds, and the release date will be the 21st of April. She must be very excited, Liv. You're excited probably, yeah. But maybe even more anxious and nerve-wracking that you still have to wait for another maybe little 2 months.
Yeah, it's excited, and it doesn't feel like 9 years because so much has happened since Vervain. A lot of stuff going on, and but I have to say that it feels great to have this album out, because if you'd asked me like 5 or 6 years ago if I would ever release an album again, I probably would have said I'm out of music business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, it's in 2000 and end of 2015, beginning of 2016, there was a big bang in my life, a huge explosion where everything was turned on its head. And to me, it meant, I lost my baby Leaves Eyes. I was forced to leave my own band, and I lost my financial source. There was no way I could live from music anymore. I had to find a home for my family, and I started, working as much as possible with having regular jobs, teaching and cooking for refugees and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not afraid to say so, because I know it's valuable work, but for me it was absolutely necessary to get back on track. Secure a home, secure my finances, and I did not really have the power and the mind, the calm mind, to think about art. So there was a huge blockage, I have to say. And I listened to music. I joined certain projects. I joined my sister's band, Midnattsol, but there was nothing coming from me. So it was then in 2019 when I met my husband, Michael. He actually asked me if I would ever want to release an album again or get back on stage again. And luckily, I had my annual shows in Germany in December during these years, and so I had at least that thing. And in 2019, end of 2019, I was ready to start being creative again, and my mind had, settled a bit, and my daily life got more sorted out, and I had stabilized in so many ways. So now it's like I would say, if I wouldn't have released this album, I would have released a book. So
about your life probably, or something else.
Yes, about coming home to oneself.
Yeah. Is it still maybe something you want to do, or is this enough for you to have it in your lyrics maybe?
Well, what I have done is, of course, as you said, it's in my lyrics, and it's in my melodies, and in the feelings that the songs and the lyrics trigger within the listener. But I've also written a poetry collection that goes along with it, actually. But the thing with the poetry collections is that it's my first one, although I've written a lot of poetry throughout my years. And when I have a look at it, I always change at least a word, and that's, that could go on. So I decided to release the album without the poetry collection, and I'll release the poetry collection later. But I started writing a book as well. But we'll see, because I feel like right now it's the most important thing is to concentrate on my album.
Yes, of course. I read a statement of you about the album, your personal comment, which was really nice. I will tell. It says the lifeline that flows through all 12 compositions unveils a heart-based personal path, a sense of deeper truth and soul vision of pure bliss, consciousness, an eternal river of diamonds.
Yeah.
So, do you feel you couldn't have made this album, let's say 10 years ago, because it's really your life experience in there? Maybe you can tell a little bit more about
You're
it.
so right, and it's lovely the way you read the words, because I haven't heard anybody else saying these words. And yes, without my experience that I now have, I wouldn't have been able to come up with such an album.
Yeah.
And with these lyrics. So River of Diamonds, if you look into the night sky, it's completely dark, but then you have those spots, those diamonds, those stars shining, and they shine because they're in darkness, right? They're in the blackness.
Yeah.
I've heard so many stories of other human beings, men and women, who kind of had their crash, had their deep fall, who really confirmed that when you experience something like that, when you feel like you're losing yourself, and you disconnect with your soul because it hurts so much, everything hurts so much. When you go through this, it's actually it's the beginning of a path that if you survive, and you consciously walk this path, then you're going to see the diamonds. And I see diamonds every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I came home to myself, and I connected to my soul again, and that is also work that I do with Carmen. It says vocal coaching, strengthen your voice, right? Inner and outer voice. But it's about singing, yes. It's about certain singing manners, yes. We can talk about that too. But what I probably more often talk about with my students is actually coming home to oneself, dissolving traumas, dissolving blockages to strengthen the voice.
Yeah.
And so it's the whole album has a message. It's absolutely possible to find your way home to yourself and to release yourself from the past.
Yeah. So do you also can say that the album is also a celebration to yourself?
Yeah, it's a celebration of life.
Nice. So for the album, you teamed up with Tommy Olsen, your old longtime friend from Theater of Tragedy. And he wrote the music, right? And he did some pre-production. Was he the guy you immediately thought of when you were thinking about, writing, recording a new album?
Well, Tommy's been so patient, because he started sending me music in 2015.
Ah.
Yeah, and
that's been a while.
And when the Big Bang happened in my life in 2016, I had to tell Tommy that please keep sending me songs, but I don't really know what's going to happen to them, and I don't know if something happens, when it's going to happen. I need to find myself first, and I need to get my daily life kind of back on track. And he said, no problem. That's no problem. There is no hurry. If you ever want to release an album again, here are the songs. Pick and take whatever you like. And then I realized that it actually took me to a very happy place, a place of freedom and great creativity, a great creative flow. When I sat down and listened to the songs, they did something to me. And as the years passed by, we released a single, Skylight, then we released the EP, Have Courage Dear Heart. And Have Courage Dear Heart was actually the beginning of River of Diamonds. I knew I have the courage now to release an album. Have Courage Dear Heart. I owe a lot to my husband for that, because he was the one who gave me the courage. Yeah.
Yeah. And since the songs have been written throughout the years, they are still fresh and updated to you. Did you arrange things together as well to get it a more nowadays feel, or is it really a certain vibe that you want to capture?
Well, River of Diamonds has a lot of, I would say, of Tommy Olsson's vibe. But of course we did things together. But I just felt like, or I still feel that with Tommy, he leaves me the space I need in the compositions to evolve my melodies and the words going with the melodies. Moreover, River of Diamonds has the vibes of Aegis, of the Theatre of Tragedy album, which was composed by Tommy. Tommy has a band, Long Night, which I really love. Mm-hmm. It's more Sisters of Mercy, Fields of the Nephilim. It's amazing. And with Tommy, it's like I've always had this freedom to evolve and develop. So it's very easy to be in the creative flow with him. And he's in Norway, so every time I go home, I visit Tommy on his island, and that's where the magic happens.
Yes. Yeah, I think the album is very diverse. There's a lot of you in it on different levels, like the more, appealing pop melodies, but also this darkish wave, and everything in between, I would say. But you also invited a few guests on your album. So first of all, I was thinking, why did you want to have some guests on the album in the first place?
It wasn't planned at all. It was like when I heard the song, which got the title River of Diamonds. The album had the title River of Diamonds 2 years before the track actually came to surface. So because I just knew this album has to get the title River of Diamonds. Then the song came and I thought, wow, okay. I need a male voice. This is a song for a couple. And then I asked Fernando of Moonspell, he's a longtime friend of mine. We toured together in the 90s and we toured together in the millennium. And he's a person who really supports me as well through all times, also through the difficult times. He was there, and he said, of course, I'll sing on this song. So that was it was a perfect match. I thought of him when I heard the song, and the words were just right. Within an hour, the whole thing was done. So the same with Our Immortal Day. That was actually done on the island in Tommy's studio, and Østen is he's the singer in Tommy's band, Long Night. Mm-hmm. He lives very close to Tommy on the island. So I thought about Østen because that's a really, it reminds a little bit about Love Decay.
in Love Me High, and that's you're singing with your sister there, which is probably a natural choice, I would say.
Yes, it is. And it's like my sister and I, when we meet up, it's not so often during the year, but when we meet up, we laugh so much and we have so much fun. And we have this Norwegian West Coast black humor. And Love Me High is, of course, it's about being in love in general. And of course, being in love with life and feeling the freedom of freeing oneself from this messy mind, from this monkey mind, nagging and bothering you with stuff from the past or worries about the future, or how is it to be free? And that is when you love life, and when you're probably in love with everyone and everything, and just feel that life is smooth and life is light. That's what the song is about. So it's about the frequency, actually, and I like to share that with my sister.
Nice. And you did two covers, which are really beautiful versions, I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah, the first one is Pictured Within. That's a cover of John Lord. And you have your husband, Michael, guest appearance there as well. How did you come up with the song in the first place?
Yeah, Michael is a phenomenon, because he's never been in a studio singing himself. He's never he never has sung on a stage or performed anywhere. He's just somebody who sometimes sings to himself. And then his dear, lovely father died all of a sudden. And Michael, as well as I, and you probably too, find healing in music. And he listened to this song, and I said, well, let's try to cover it, and let's just go to the studio to record it, and I will sing it. If you want to join me, you can do that. So I recorded the whole song with my voice, and then Michael said, I'm ready. And that was a magic moment, because he has no vocal coaching whatsoever, anybody else, and he's never been in front of a microphone, and he just did it. He nailed it. So that's a very interesting phenomenon for me, being a vocal coach. Sometimes people ask, people say I'm a terrible singer and I only sing in the shower, and then they tell me to shut up. The people around me tell me to shut up. Can we fix this, right? And can I ever become a good singer? Well, yes, absolutely. So you can develop a certain competence. You can, and I'm very happy about this duet, because it's very intimate.
Yeah, very special. Yeah, and a beautiful version. Also, and also a beautiful version is True Colors, Cyndi Lauper, original artist. What's your connection with the song that you made thinking of recording this?
Yes, well, of course, it's a very important song in my own process, in coming home to myself and learning to set my boundaries, to define my values, my worths, to come from a crumbled state to becoming whole again, showing my true colors. So for me, it's a song that says, when it comes from the heart, when authenticity comes from the heart, that's the best thing you can be. And of course, I love Cyndi as well. She was a very courageous person for what she did back then, and still is doing. And when I play my annual shows in Germany, Nagold, I actually have quite a huge community of gay people, gay and lesbian people coming to my shows. And I love this vivid, colorful, bright community I have, and they support me in any ways they can. So it's also an ode to everybody who might, be a little bit different than what the world actually has will expect, or rules for, or whatever categories. As long as it comes from the heart, show your true colors. And it's it's an ode to everybody who is being authentic from the heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So do you feel by now that you found your place as a solo artist in general with this album? Or maybe all before, I don't know.
Yes, it's like every album in my life. I think there's been, I don't know, somebody counted them. It's been quite a few albums, and every album played a very important step in my process. But now I just turned 47, and it feels like being exactly in the middle of my life. That's what it feels like, being in the middle of my life, and standing with my legs safely planted on the ground. I feel I feel grounded, and I feel heaven as well. And it feels like there is balance, there is yin yang, there is more self-control. I had to take control over many parts of my life, what concerns my business partners, the people I surrounded myself with in general, even finding a new country to live in, and starting to work with children. I work 100% in my day working with children in Swiss primary school and children with special needs, which is something I really wanted to do for a long time, but I was most of the time on the road. So yes, this feels great. I have to say, this feels great. And I've never felt as safe as I do now. Feeling safety in the world, I think, is very important for everybody, especially time.
Yeah, definitely. And also how you present yourself as an artist in the videos, your image, and the album covers and so on. It has kind of a fashion link as well to me. It's like it's always nice and colorful or very clean, very you, I guess. So are you still looking for the way to present yourself, or do you also feel like, okay, I'm here? Because getting older, you change certain things maybe you don't want to do anymore. But how do you feel about your own transition in that, actually?
Of course, when you turn into your 40s, things change in your female body, the hormones, and most of us know we're done with children. Maybe we remarry, or we find a new partner, and life changes. Life changes if you're open to it. And I think that is also what menopause is there for us women to rethink our situation, surroundings, and what's going on there inside of me, in my innermost. What's going on there? What is important for me? Because your worths and values change from when you're 23 to when you're 43, right?
Yeah.
So, I felt that there was a kind of a different body. Yeah, I felt like, okay, sleep is different. I have different ways of solving things, maybe with a little bit more awareness, not being so hasty and getting stressed about things. It's rather now like calming down, reducing the speed a little bit, and being more conscious. And there is a lot more awareness to my existence right now. And I have to say that it's very healing. It's very healing. So if you feel like something is changing when you cross the 40s, open up for the changes, because it might lead you to something which is greater than what you have ever experienced.
Yeah. It's not a popular topic to talk about most of the time. But it's reality, especially also for you as artists out there. But you hardly hear anything about it, how to deal with all these changes. But well, you hardly hear people talking about it. But I think it's a huge part.
It is part, and I think it's important because many aspects in your life will change.
Yep.
And instead of suppressing it and saying it, okay, no, I'm not dealing with those 5 kilos extra. I'm not dealing with my gray hair. I don't want to have it. You're going to have a lot of stress.
Yes.
So
it's just accept.
Have the courage to accept yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So the album is ready. It's coming out, but you also have your regular life with work and everything. Are you planning to do some kind of touring for the album?
Well, there is space for touring when schools in Switzerland are closed. There is space for touring, and sometimes during the weekends as well. I haven't played much in the last 9 years. My annual show, yes. A couple of festivals, yes. But with my new album, I probably have to start from scratch when it comes to festivals and maybe a small tour or something. So we're in there and checking it out to see how we can get back on stage. Not in a format like it used to be, like touring 2/3 of the year. That's not my thing anymore, and I love my regular job as well, but I love being on stage too. So if I can combine both, that would be amazing. So I'd love to come and play for you.
Nice. So since you are so long in the music biz, actually, there's always music, of course, but how do you like to spend your free time when you're not working or not now being busy with music? What do you do in your free hours?
Well, I still learn. I read books, and it's about neuroplasticity, brain stuff, and trauma stuff, and I teach yoga. I do my vocal coaching. I dissolve traumas with people. I help people who have experienced abuse in any kind of way. I spend a lot of time in nature, and I spend a lot of time with this guy.
That's cute.
Yeah, his name is Bailey. He's my stray dog, and yes, Michael and I, my husband and I, we really take care that we have our sacred hours every day. So it's very important when you have your daily tasks that you have at least 2 hours a day where you spend time with your favorite persons or your favorite surroundings.
Nice. That's a good advice, I would say. I was also thinking, do you have some advice for young musicians who are just starting out and, have all these dreams and hopes and dreams, of course. So is there anything you could to give that there some advice?
Keep on singing at least 30 minutes a day. If you're a singer, if you want to become a singer, keep on singing. And it doesn't matter to which music you're singing. It doesn't matter if you feel like you have a trained voice or not, because it's gonna help you with matching the pitch that makes you become an excellent hearer. So when you produce, when you resound, when you make sound, that you can also reach the perfect pitch. If you can do that, you will become a very courageous musician. You will have more courage. So keep on singing, and I would say when you create something, it's very important to listen to your heart. I know it's sometimes difficult because you have other people who want to make decisions too and have an influence on what you're doing, or maybe work as a band, as a group, which is fine. Sometimes you have business partners. The more money that comes in, the more control you give off. that's my experience. So never lose touch with yourself and your original sense of an understanding of art. It's important to keep this flow going. Yeah.
Sounds like a good one. Well, thank you so very much for joining us here and talk about what's happening in your life, your new album, and people check it out soon. And yeah, wish you all the best.
I wish you all the best too. And it was a great highlight of the day and of the week. See you again. And I hope that we can meet in person someday very soon. And be safe and take good care. And
And thank you guys for watching Headbangers Lifestyle. Yes.
Yes.